Yesterday, July 21, would have been the late President John Evans Atta Mills's 71st birthday. Now, born in 1944, President Mills died at the age of 68 at the 37 Military Hospital 3 years ago. We bring you a profile of the man nicknamed Asumdwehene, which literally means the Prince of Peace, or the Man of Peace.
Well, a very good evening to you, and many of you have already heard that trickling news from the news wires about the demise of President John Evans Atta Mills at the 37 Military Hospital this afternoon.
It was exactly 2:15 p.m. Tuesday, July 24, 2012. 3 years ago, the whole country was thrown into a state of shock. Ghana, for the first time in history, experienced the pain and demise of its sitting president. He was Professor John Evans Fifi Atta Mills. A cloudy and rainy day, doubtful apparel, gloomy faces, and sorrowful military band tune set emotions to the brink. As if some form of coincidence, successive anniversaries virtually mimicked that fateful day. The atmosphere at the burial place, the Asumdwe Park, was solemn 1 year on. And so was the second anniversary. Friday, July 24, will mark the 3rd year of his demise. Marking 71 years today, how would he have celebrated it?
He would have been quiet, reflective, with a few friends. And, the last time I saw him was on Sunday, his 21st. That was before he died on the 24th. And there was a church service at the castle, very, very simple. Before then, there were donations that were made to various homes and hospitals and all that. That is Atta Mills for you.
The good old Prof. He was somebody who was really humble. Today, usually on his birthday, that was when we went around and then gave presents to so many people. We'll go to also children's home and other places and areas that he felt the people were underprivileged. We'll go there and then go and give them some presents. And usually on his birthday, he went to work, if it was for the weekday, and then he would come home and have his favorite meal, sit down and then tell jokes to all of us.
Professor Mills, who hails from Ekumfi, Utuam in the central region, was born at Takwa in the western region. He attended Achimota School where he completed the advanced level certificate in 1963. After several years of service to the nation, he was the vice to former President Jerry John Rawlings from 1997 to 2001. On his 3rd attempt, he was elected president in 2012. Though he was known to be calm and peaceful, he never compromised his toughness.
If it means transferring everybody, I will give him the authority to do so. If it means changing all the people in customs, I will do so. Because we do not owe anybody anything. Friday,
July 24, would mark exactly 3 years of President Mills' demise.
May his soul rest in perfect peace. And we know that in 2 days will be exactly 3 years since former President Professor John Evans Atta Mills passed on. And we are also made to understand that he stood for a number of ideals. A number of them, I'm sure, all of us who have followed politics in this country know. And we are joined on the line by Koku Anyidoho. He is or was a spokesperson for former President John Evans Atta Mills. He's joined us on the line to help us understand what the plans are regarding the celebration of a great man, a great president, if you ask me. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for joining us, Koku.
Yeah, good afternoon, Martin.
Great. Yesterday there was a lecture in memory of Professor Mills. We know that is one step of many other activities lined up. Can you help us understand what the others are?
Well, thank you for the opportunity, Martin. Well, yes, yesterday we had the anniversary lecture, the first in the series, On Friday, we'll gather at the Asumdwe Park, albeit in a rather much lower key manner as compared to the first anniversary and the second anniversary. This one is just, the park is opened, the Dansuma Youth Choir will be in attendance, so there will be lots of musical renditions, and then it will just be there. People will come and lay wreaths, and we'll pass the time there remembering the good old professor, the president, father, statesman, politician, legal luminary, lecturer, sportsman that he was. This time around, we're not having a formal ceremony as we had in the first and the second anniversary of it.
Okay. He certainly is a man of many hats, or he wore many hats depending on which field you placed him in. Do you think that some of the ideals he stood for is something that we as a country are observing, or we've thrown it all to the dogs?
No, we are still doing it. I mean, the fact that he espoused the principle of moving away from the politics of vindictiveness, that you cannot build a nation etched in vindictiveness. And so the fact that you hit me years ago doesn't mean I must hit you today. And I reckon President Mahama is continuing in the same vein, moving away from the politics of vindictiveness and to the politics of inclusion rather than exclusion. So I reckon that that ideal that he stood for, that thing that he embalmed his Better Ghana agenda in, is still continuing. And we believe that moving forward, no president will move away from that. Any president who will attempt to move away from that, I'm sure, will be hooted at by the majority of Ghanaians.
Exactly. And finally, before we let you go, what do you think that 3 years on after his passing, we would remember him for the most?
Oh, I think we will remember him for his, inclusiveness when it comes to politics. And the fact that he believed in the fact that without peace, there could be no development. And that's how come Ghanaians named him Asumdwe prior to he becoming president. And once he became president, for him, peace was a cardinal principle, that you cannot have any development minus peace, because if you develop and there's no peace, the development will be meaningless. And so I believe that's what Dr. Kayode did yesterday by espousing those virtues, that yes, in intellectualism, you can have a man who is very down to earth, believing in the fact that governance and leadership is more to do with those who have not, the underprivileged, as opposed to those who already have and want more.
We are grateful for your time, Koko Anyidoho. Thank you for speaking with us, and we wish the family well. We would also be monitoring how the 3-year anniversary of the passing of former President Mills is marked by the state, and certainly our viewers would also be well informed about how it goes.